our hearts. And he's going to share something that we have never heard before, and then we're going to do a show for you. So everyone, please give a very warm welcome to Jeff Corey.
My name is Jeff with a G. That's going to become important later. Senior year of high school, AP English class, everyone was analyzing these short stories, and we're just going too deep into it, right? We're like, oh, maybe the author meant this. Like, this is what he was trying to get at. And we're like, Mr. Fed, we're just overdoing this. Like, this is not real. How do we know what the author really meant? And I said, Mr. Fed, how about I write a short story? And I'm the author, and I know what I mean, and I'll fill it with symbolism, and we'll all get it. And then we'll debate it, and I'll be able to say, that's what I meant, that's what I didn't mean. Let's rewind. 2 years earlier, I'm single for the first time. I dated a woman for 3 years, and then was single and just was kind of hanging out with my guy friends. Particularly my best friend Brian. And if you think about everything that you would do with someone who you're in a relationship with, you text all the time, you share secrets, you're always, hanging out, and you show up places, people are like, oh hey, where's, name, right? So that's basically what I had with Brian. Everything except the sex. Except for Brian and I were secretly having sex. So sometimes we would get drunk with all of our friends, and we would kind of wait for everyone to fall asleep, and then it would be like 2 a.m., and like me and Brian are sitting there, and Brian is like a jock too. He does all these different sports, really, like classical manly. He's also really homophobic and anti-gay. Like literally when he eats a banana for lunch, if he has a banana, he undoes it and he breaks it off and eats it, lest anyone see him make any sort of motion. And he literally said that's why he was doing it. He would eat lollipops. Anyway, so that was that situation. We were in track together, we're hooking up secretly. Then I finally get a girlfriend again, and like he basically gets jealous and is like cutting me out of all these parties. Like literally I find out that my cousin's hosting a party, and he's going, and he told her, like, I'm only going to go if you don't invite Jeff. Like, he really got mad at me. So now we're back at senior year, and I'm supposed to write a story filled with symbolism that everyone can figure out. And so I'm like, well, me and Brian are friends, and we do track, we do pole vaulting. We have a secret that I could allude to, so I'll write a story about two guys who are doing track and secretly hooking up, and I'll name them Ryan and Jeff with the J. And everyone had to read this story out loud and then debate the meaning. Just a few little tidbits from it that are highly embarrassing. This is how the story starts. Remember, we did pole vaulting. He diverted his attention from the runway and only concentrated on the long red pole he fiercely gripped in his hand. He hated that pole. He hated it for every time that it bent the wrong way, for every time that it missed the hole, every time that he had to carry it in a bag from the track back to the storage room, yet he loved the pole. It took him to new heights, gave him confidence to stand tall, taught him right from wrong. No matter how much he hated it, no matter how awkward it felt in his hands, no matter how much stress it brought, he needed it. I tried to fill the story with symbolism and like little things, but it really just wound up being wildly inappropriate. At one point, Ryan says something philosophical, and Jeff, Jeff says something philosophical, and Ryan responds with, "You're too deep, Jeff." Few words passed between them, save a few good jobs. And then I expected everyone to like debate, like, oh, what did that mean? I even put an entirely true story about a night that we were drunk together in a car, and I didn't even change the name of my friend Nick. Okay, so hey, Jeff mumbles, breaking the silence. Do you remember last summer when we got drunk in Nick's car? I don't think I ever told you this, but I swear to God, you looked like a zombie. Ryan says, what, because I couldn't stand up straight? No, that's not why. You can never stand straight when you're drunk. I don't know what it was, but this time was different. Nick and I were seriously considering running you over. You got to admit that for all the times we were driving drunk, it would be pretty funny if you died because we ran you over. Jesus Christ. But then Jeff interrupts in a serious whisper and says, what have we done since last summer? Now I go on like a whisper binge. There's a lot of whispering, and the whispers are like supposed to represent like a secret. Oh yeah, really deep. I just want to know what happened. We've barely spoken this year, except for when we were in class or whatever, and that was awkward. Even when I gave you rides home, it was awkward. Ryan tries to change the subject by saying, awkward is such an awkward word. Jeff says, I'm not trying to joke anymore, in a whisper. Okay? So then they go on and they talk about how Jeff dated Lauren, and they kind of stop talking, and then in the story, Ryan starts dating Lauren after her and Jeff break up, you know, to create just like a little drama there. So they get in a little bit of a fight about that, and at some point Ryan says, shut up, Jeff, you're turning it into a way bigger deal than it is. You and her had a fling. You were never in love with anybody. Yes, I was, says Jeff with a cracking voice. Jeff and Ryan begin to look each other in the eyes, and their faces move closer together. I'm in love with her, Ryan states. You know, Jeff begins with a whisper. Last summer, you admitted to loving somebody else. Remember, everyone is reading this in English. Ryan sits up and chokes on his words before he gets out. Oh, that's different. I wasn't dating Lauren yet, and we were really drunk. So that doesn't even matter. I felt the need to clarify that Ryan's not whispering at this part. Ryan heaves a sigh as he lies down again. They're on a trap mat. Neither Jeff nor Ryan reacts when the tips of their elbows touch. Anyone know what the tips of your elbows are called? Venus. Ryan stiffens his body to lay straight while Jeff is more relaxed, allowing his arms to bend. Look, Ryan states calmly, last summer was, Jeff interrupts, amazing. Yeah, says Ryan with a smile. He tilts his head to see that Jeff is already looking at him. The corner of Jeff's mouth begins to move towards his mesmerizing blue eyes. Yeah, you should write a line when you talk about your own eyes. It is a smile Ryan remembers well. Ryan breaks the stare again and begins to look up as he says, it's over. Jeff looks back to the sky. He says nothing. They stare at the sky together. After a period of silence, Ryan says, I'm sorry. After Lauren broke up with you, it really was wrong for me to date her. Jeff's voice cracks as he reveals, actually, I broke up with her. What? Ryan sets up with a livid look on his face. Livid look, alliteration, and points. And stands up and gets off the mat while he says, I can't believe you, Jeff. You lie there wanting the world to feel sorry for you because your girlfriend broke up with you for your best friend, and you're telling me it was your choice? You're telling me you wanted it to end? What the hell? You have no reason to be depressed right now. Nobody left you. Jeff sits up, allowing tears to come out and stream down his cheeks. You left me, he says, looking directly at Ryan. Tears fill Ryan's eye sockets, but he doesn't laugh. Instead, Ryan stands on solid ground, trying desperately to respond without crying, but he can't say anything. That's the end of the story, so let's go back. Remember, we're in English class. Did I neglect to mention Brian's sitting next to me? He's sitting next to me. And then, so he's sitting next to me as the class now has to debate, while I'm quiet, because I'm the author, the class now has to debate the meaning of the story. So in front of Jeff with a G and Brian, they all debate if Jeff with a J and Ryan are gay. So needless to say, everyone kind of figured it out. Brian and I wound up in this like fight that actually strangely mirrored the story outside of the class, where we were like in this fight about it, and he walked away, and we'd already been through all this terrible shit where he was cutting me off from parties, so I already hated him anyway. And Nick came up to me and he was like, "What was that fight about?" And I was like, "Me and Brian have been hooking up."
Yeah!
Okay, typical memo. I've drafted it. It has rules for everyone in the office. And I just want you to keep in mind that everyone's names, okay, in this memo are not real names. Okay? These are just names of office workers that might carry out these tasks. They have nothing to do with us. So I just want us to read these examples. And this is what a typical memo would look like. Everyone, guys, this is exciting. We can use this memo for any future memos that we have, any needs.
Lucy sounds a lot like Lucy, and I feel like you're calling out my microwave habits. So,
And Schmerilyn doesn't show up on time.
Well, okay, Schmerilyn doesn't show up on time, and as it says in
you
this memo,
just referred to her by her fake name and directly.
I just happened to be looking at Marilyn when I said Schmerilyn. It doesn't mean anything about Marilyn.
Crystal with a C replies all to every email.
Crystal is a highly common name, okay?
But Chalissa isn't. I just feel like I go to the bathroom often. Yes, that's true. But it's for medical reasons, and I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Okay, I just want to again clarify. No one needs to share personal details.
You shared all the details.
How many times I went on Tuesday to 12?
My birth control regimen is here. If I am Lucy.
Okay. Lucy, this isn't about you. This is about Lucy. Lucy is misusing company health insurance.
Wait, you're having birth control?
Well,
How did you even get that information?
I'm in human resources. I have a lot of information. And I keep it all confidential. I want to
Very crude caricature of Brenda is pretty close to me. It's just me with a little mustache on it.
It's important.
It looks like me. And it's from the CCC in the lunchroom. I didn't take that lunch. This is me.
Let's just focus on the positives, okay? Because this shows that we can use images in memos to convey what we want to get across.
Drew boobs on her.
What is this really
It's
about?
not you. It's Brenda, okay? And I what is this really about? This is
Crystal
about.
says a fart.
Okay. I was waiting for you.
It's supposed to tell me right. Well, no, I want this to be special just between the two of us. But it's just our thing that you don't tell anyone else.
I just can't keep my hands off you. Let me touch your wings.
What? No. Please. We're at school. What do you mean you're gonna...
I want my hands all over you. And I want everyone to know. Everyone. I love Gwen.
Stop!
Why?
The last time I shared a relationship, it became a thing in its own hashtag, and it grew bigger than us. I just want to keep this.
We could be hashtag.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
my god.
Celebrity names, and I don't want anything like that.
Girls,
Yes.
do you have a hall pass? Oh. Ladies, you're both in AP Bio. Now, unless the rules have changed, and I know they haven't, the two of you should not be out in the hallway at once.
You should.
Well, you know, sometimes.
Ladies, do you guys have a...
Oh.
Do you have a hall pass?
Do you have a hall pass? Which one of you has the hall pass?
Neither of us.
Neither of us.
Oh. Miss Carolyn, you look really good in your lab coat. Did you just come from lab?
Mrs. Donaldson, you were too kind. You make a scientist blush.
No.
That's hot. Is that hot? I think there's a heating problem in the building.
Another reason you guys shouldn't be
You
in
should
the
not be
hallway.
here.
Why are
together.
you two both?
Yeah.
We are
Administrators.
monitors.
Yeah.
We're administrators monitoring.
There are a lot of people in the hallway can't sweep the floor, so you guys gonna have to mosey us too many too.
It's like we should
Mosey.
I guess we should just
Gonna
mosey,
right
right?
this way.
Oh,
Girls, this is too.
this hallway is too hot.
It's too hot. It's too hot in the hallway.
About to get all wet and
Yep.
this hallway.
And this is you have to mop
I'll
up
get
all
the
the
mop.
wetness. What's happening? Because the water fountain's broken.
Yes, the water fountain's leaking, so.
It was working earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, it's leaking. We should
It's
wipe
leaking.
it.
We should
I should
wipe it
wipe
up.
that up.
Are you guys talking?
Yeah. Okay. I don't like blowy kind of voices. But I can't stop whispering. I'm very hungry. I can't stop whispering. Maybe if I had a little drink. Okay. You're gonna have to move out if you don't start talking with a normal kind of, vibration here. Because this is just, one of the 3 things I cannot stand. No, it's just annoying. It's just, I feel like there's just a cloud coming. So. No more whispering. Okay. You can talk, just not whisper. We can have a conversation. I didn't mean to make you feel bad about the way you were talking. It's just more air than substance. I inhale. That is infinitely worse.
See, this pole isn't
Yeah.
just a pole.
No.
It's a means to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Careful with where you're swinging that thing.
This is how I prove myself. This
You
is
gotta-
how I show you what I'm worth.
Gotta get grip on it.
Can I touch it?
My pole?
Yeah.
Okay, but be
I'm
careful,
just
because
bored
I just.
and my mom made me come to work with her. I'm just like,
Wait, how old are you?
oh, everyone always asks me that.
I don't know if I want you touching this.
I want to clean the pool.
Hercules, you can't give her the pole.
I want to clean the pool. Let me clean the pool.
I mean, if you want.
I want to get all the leaves out of the pool. I want to touch it.
All right, honey, listen.
I feel like Hercules was about to say something like poetic.
No, it's okay. Here. Take the pole.
I feel bad about
Take it. Go ahead, take it. Take it, honey, take it. Can you handle it?
Yeah.
Do you understand what it means to hold that pole? Do you understand that when you dip this into that wetness, you dip it real low and you dip it deep? So deep that it touches the bottom. You think, can it go deeper? I want it to, and yet it can't. It's something so hard, it cannot penetrate any further. So take that pole and put it down. Put it in. Yes.
Harder?
Just make sure you don't splash.
No splashing.
Like
No, no, no.
more?
The cleanup for that's atrocious. So.
What if I fall in?
Oh,
Well,
honey,
we've all fallen.
that's the risk you take. That's it.
Yeah, are you sure this won't hurt it?
No,
No.
absolutely.
What if it's a shallow pool?
Hey, you know,
Shallow pools will let you know if it's.
You slut!
Oh my god, thank you for coming.
Oh my god, you're welcome.
Where's name? It's your little friend.
What? They don't have to come everywhere with me. Okay.
Really?
No, I can go places and just be on my own because I don't need them everywhere.
You look so sad. You look like you're about to cry.
I'm not gonna cry. Thanks for this drink. I only need one because it's just me.
She's even drinking really sad.
I'm an empath.
Oh.
I'm an empath, and I'm feeling what your heart's feeling right now.
Oh, my heart's not doing
I
that.
think it is.
No, it's not.
I never cry unless someone else is
Hey, I'm just empathic. Oh,
No, you can't. You're not an empath, Carol. You're not, because I'm an empath, Carol. You ruined my night, Carol. Why cry your friend?
yeah, think I invited them. I did. They have other plans.
It's so sad.
I wanted to bring you all here because I'm moving.
What?
The job offer, like the job offer.
I felt that because I couldn't read your energy, okay? So now I feel like an idiot for not knowing that you were leaving.
It's not about you! It's not about you! Really happy
Yeah.
for Tammy?
Thank you.
So let's just raise our glasses.
Everyone goes.
No. Just needed something else.
I'm protesting.
You're what?
I'm protesting.
I'm still gonna go.
Something's about to happen and I'm not sure what.
I'm gonna fucking freak the fuck out.
Tammy!
I missed you. I had a break that canceled. Name! You made it.
Come on in. They really brought the party up. So happy now? Everything's fine? Good to see you.
Would you like a glass of wine? Welcome.
You can.
I don't like it in Melbourne anymore.
You
okay?
like me.
It's
me.
That's okay.
It is you.
Everything's
I'm gonna be
fine.
honest.
Everything's
It's all of you.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
All
fine.
of us.
What? Me? No, I know.
It's
You
you.
don't really know each other, so it can't be.
It wouldn't be you. But
So the one person here.
This is great.
I feel like everyone's hurt right now, Tammy, and it's your fault.
We all feel that way. It's very uncomfortable in here right now.
Pretty.
It's not just you. You don't have a magic power.
I do have a magic
No,
power.
you don't. No, you don't.